In this lesson, we're going to review transformations of graphs. So when we look at this transformation here, inside the absolute value bars, we read those just like if they were inside parentheses or under the square root. This represents our horizontal shift. Since this is plus 3, the horizontal shift is going to be 3 to the left. It's the opposite of the sign. So let's go here to the origin, and we're going to go 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. The value that's outside parentheses is our vertical shift. It either moves the graph up or down, the function up or down. Since this is negative or minus 2, we are going to go over 1, 2, 3 for the horizontal change and down 2 for the vertical change. This shape is a V, so it definitely is an absolute value function. Here's a value in front, negative 2. Negative is a negative slope, so if we come here, negative 2, we're going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and we can do the same thing on the left and actually sketch the graph of our absolute value function. Let's take a look at the graph number 2. Here, inside parentheses, inside absolute value, inside the square root, gives us our horizontal shift. This is negative 2. So, or x minus 2. So we're going to go 2 in the opposite direction of the sign, 2 to the left. So let's go here to the origin and go 2 to the left. Because we don't have a value outside parentheses, that means there's no vertical shift. We don't go up and we don't go down. We just go over 2. Take a look at the value in front of the absolute value bars. It is 1 over 3. That represents the slope, rise over 1. So we go up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. And that will continue the pattern for this function. Okay, so let's go to our next slide. So in our next slide, we're going to review our basic functions, actually our basic parent functions. Here's absolute value. This is what it looks like. This is a general form. Here's our little cup, our parabola, our quadratic, and here's general form. Square root, here, square root, sketch of the graph, here's the formula. Now what we're going to study in this unit is logarithms and exponentials. Here's logarithm, so a logarithm is going to start down and curve over. So here's our general function for a logarithm, and the inverse of a logarithm is exponential. So exponential, we're going to have a value here raised to an exponent, which is a variable exponent, and it's going to come across and shoot up. This is the way you want your money to grow when you start investing, when you get off on your career. So we can have a value in the front, and then we'll have our number raised to a power, and this is called exponential. So we're still going along with the same theme of H moves it horizontally and K moves it vertically. So, and also note that H has the opposite sign. Alrighty, so let's take a look at this next graph. Here it is y equals negative 1/2 times the absolute value of x minus 3 plus 1. This is negative. That's going to reflect over the x-axis. So here is our absolute value function. It's moving right 3 and up 1 according to this. So if we wanted to do a light sketch of that, here it is. Absolute value over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1, and then the right here will be the slope, down 1 and over 2, down 1 and over 2 in the other direction. We'll keep that, and that will just be a light sketch of our absolute value. But basically, this just wanted us to describe what is represented here. So take a look at this next one. This function here, 3 times x plus 2 squared, that's quadratic, minus 2. So when the numbers get bigger, the graph shrinks. When the numbers are fractions, it get wider. So this plus 2 means that this graph goes 2 to the right, and this means it goes down 2. So describe and write the equation for the transform function. So here we go. This here we can see is square root. Square root would go in the opposite direction. We know it's going to have a negative out in front because it's flipped down. It is 1 over and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So the 1 over to the right, we're going to put the opposite sign. So this is -1, and it also went up 4. So this is how we describe and write the equation of our transform function of a square root. This, as we take a look, is a quadratic. So from the origin, it goes over 1, and this is +1 because it's the opposite side. And it goes, after you go over 1, it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is represented right here. So awesome. Let's see what's next. So here we take a look at this function here. It is, let me write this up here, f of x is equal to 2x plus 3 squared minus 1. So my question to you is, where is the vertex? So the vertex is going to be h comma k. Our h is going to go with our horizontal shift, and our k is going to go with our vertical shift. So the actual vertex here is going to be horizontal, is going to be opposite. So instead of +3, it's -3. And the vertical stays the same, so that's -1. So voila, there is the vertex. So I want to get a light sketch of this. I had to go over 3 and down 1. And this is going to be my vertex. Okay. Now, for this one, this is a quadratic because we can tell by the square term. So with the quadratic, we are going to sketch some points. We already know that the parent function looks something like this. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to shift this parent function over 3 and down 1. We said when the numbers get bigger, the graph actually will get a little smaller. So here we go. Okay. So since this is the vertex, I'm going to put, what's this, -1, -2, -3, -4. I'm going to put -4 as a point, -3 as a point, and -2 as a point. So when -4 is a point, we are going to plug in -4 plus 3 squared minus 1. Let's see what this gives us. -4 plus 3 gives me -1. -1 squared is 1. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So in -4, here's a point that's 1. -3, we already know that's our vertex, so we know what the outcome is. It's 1. Well, let's check out if we plug in -2. So this is 2. We're going to plug in -2 plus 3 squared minus 1. Let's see what we get. -2 plus 3 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 minus 1 is none other than what we expected, 1. Because this is going to be symmetrical. Okay, so -2, 1 is right here. So there we go. A light sketch of that graph. So we could also see that our intercepts, these are intercepts right here. Intercepts are where it crosses the x-axis. It's also solutions to the function. So this is your review for our current unit. Thank you.